So we were watching the Howie Mandel podcast during the week. Bill Burr was on it halfway through. He was effectively ambushed by Billy Corgan. He came onto the set halfway through, and they were there to confront this rumour that had been flying around for a little while that the two are half-brothers. Good morning to you, Al. To begin with, I actually don't know how I feel about any of this.
Good morning, mate. Yeah, look, I'm kind of on the side of it's all a bit of gutter trash podcasting, really. I mean, Howie Mandel seems to be the conductor that's put this kind of show together, and really, I mean, I feel for Bill Burr, and I've got a bit of a joke for you here, mate. So, Howie Mandel Podcast, Bill Burr sitting down comfortably, ready to have a conversation. In comes Billy Corgan to Bill Burr's shock. Now, Billy Corgan takes a seat, and Howie Mandel goes, "Righto, boys, let's talk about your father. We're going to have a bit of a reunion here." And Bill Burr's just like, "Mate, we're not fucking talking about my father. We're not going there. I'm done." And Billy Corgan looks shocked, thinking that's what we're going to talk about. So Billy Corgan goes, "All right, well, let's talk about Autumn Part 4. Bill Burr sinks even further into his seat and goes, "Fuck it, let's talk about Dad." I don't know, mate. I'm really... I mean, it was funny. There was bits that were pretty funny. And Bill Burr's a funny guy, so he's kind of taken it on and realised he literally couldn't get out of the studio, so let's kind of make it as real and funny as possible. But it was pretty bloody awkward, mate.
It was. I mean, it was fun. Like, they were riffing on it. I mean, it was a very improv type of a thing, wasn't it? Like, they were... he was talking about, how his dad was absent and all this nonsense. And I think that... there were parts of it that were funny, but clearly it was a little bit uncomfortable with being there. But I think just in terms of what everyone's wanting them to be half brothers. Everyone's wanting them to be a test. It's like it just be a mad story, and people think it's funny. But I think you have to actually remember what we know, right? So what we do know is that Billy Corgan's dad was a travelling musician, as they said, and it came about that he called sired Bill Burr.
Love that term.
That's a funny word. Love that term, yeah. Sired Bill Burr whilst he was travelling. But what we know about Bill Burr's parents is apparently Bill Burr's dad was actually a dentist. The marriage split up, I think, at some point, and he had a stepdad. But he's a little bit guarded about talking a lot about that. So... I don't know. The only way that I can see this being actually true is if there was something that was happening that was, I don't know, funny or maybe not out of wedlock, but in sort of a one-off situation. But I don't know. I don't know if I'd be all that comfortable in talking about it. I wouldn't be really comfortable talking about that in a podcast setting. So that's I think where it just doesn't make sense. I mean, surely... There's other ways to have that discussion as opposed to in front of millions and millions of people who are all laughing, and I'm sure Bill Burr and Billy Corgan are tough enough to take it, but there's kind of individuals and there's families involved, and I'm not quite sure if they'd be all that happy about what was being discussed.
Oh, absolutely not. It's one of the greatest stitch-ups of the modern era, but I mean, to give Bill Burr credit, I mean, he just hit it out of the park at the end where he's basically just like, he says... Even if we are brothers, man, we're in our 50s. What are we going to go do? Play catch? Like, it's just like, this is real. It's not news. It's just move on. Like, I think he really, really acted professionally, and to his credit. And Billy Corgan being Billy Corgan, I mean, he'll talk about anything for all time. He just loves it.
That's right. And that's right. And like, but I mean, Howie Mandel, I mean, you just got to... You're thinking, well, why are you doing this? Like, so it's he's got 225,000 views. I'm sure if we started doing this, we'd get as many subscribers. We're on 800 subscribers, so please subscribe if you're watching this. But I just think there is a line. I think you can sort of talk about things that are potentially funny, but I'm actually not sure if this was appropriate at all.
Oh, no, he's a bit of a snoozer, really. I mean, he's an interesting character. I did a little bit of research on him. He's a massive, massive germaphobe, which is kind of interesting. It's a reason why he shaves his head. So, I mean, you've got three bald guys in the room. I mean, that should have been a joke about that. But, yeah, I don't know, mate. It's real lowbrow stuff when you ambush someone like that, really. And the fact that Bill Burr's a comedian got himself out of it, but anyone else could have gone really bad.
Oh, 100%. And Bill Burr, in subsequent interviews, has more or less said this, that he just wasn't comfortable with this whole thing that was put before him. I mean, he was damned if he did, damned if he didn't. I mean, he could have just walked out, right, and that would have created much more headlines. But he was a good sport, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was right. So let us know what you think of this. Did you think it was a little bit off in terms of a conversation that should not have been had? Let us know, but let us know. You might have thought it was funny. Let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think.